When your teenager asks you for advice, why won't he listen to you? That's what we're talking about today on Tips on Teens. My name is Kent Toussaint. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, and I specialize in helping kids, teens, and families live happier lives. I lead two organizations, Teen Therapy Center and the nonprofit 501c3 organization, Child and Teen Counseling, both here in Woodland Hills, California. Every Wednesday at noon, I jump onto Facebook Live to answer your parenting questions. Let's jump into today's. Hey, Kent. My son comes to me to talk about stuff, which is good. Unfortunately, it doesn't always end well. He'll tell me about something that's bothering him with his friends, which happens a lot, and I'll try to relate to him using examples from my own life. I would think this would be helpful, but he's told me a few times now, "You always make it about you, Dad." It seems like he wants my opinion, but whenever I give it to him, it's all about me. Any suggestions on how I can handle these situations better? Yes, thank you for your question. I think a lot of parents, and especially dads, have this issue because we have this life experience and we want to impart this onto our children, want to help and support them, learn from our mistakes, grow, stand on my shoulders, reach the highest heights. Unfortunately, kids got to make their mistakes, just like we all do. And the more we start talking about our experiences, they start glossing, yeah, whatever, and it's not about them anymore. They want it to be about them. And it's really not even about asking for advice. He's not really asking for advice. He's really not. He may say the words, but it's not really what he's, unconsciously, it's not what he's doing. What he's doing is look at me, see me, validate me, hear me. That's what he's really saying. You know, much like, and I'm going to paint with a broad brush here, much like, you know, this advice may apply to you and your spouse, your wife, for example. You know, if she comes home to have an awful day and you start giving her advice on how she can make it better, and, you know, she screams at you and is about to punch you in the face, like, what's wrong? I'm giving you all the answers. I'm the white knight in this situation. I'm solving all the problems. Why are you mad at me? And she says, don't tell me what to do. You're like, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just trying to give you advice and trying to show you how I would do it and tell you from my experience. And all we had to do as men is just shut up, right? All we had to do is say, wow, that's tough. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Wow, yeah, I feel that you're really frustrated. I get you're frustrated. All we need to do is validate their feelings, whether it's your son or your wife or your daughter or whoever it is. Now, it's different when you get a pack of men together and we're all in the sports bar eating hot wings and drinking draft beer. We relate differently. We're going to, come up with a problem and we want to hear other people's advice. What would you do? How would you handle the situation? Men and women think differently, just like adults and kids think differently, right? Your teenage boy is in a much more emotional place in his life than an adult, compartmentalized adult is. You know, it's not better or worse, male or female, it doesn't really matter. Our brains are different, and that's okay. That's totally fine. So understand what is his need. So if he does say, Dad, what should I do? It's a trap question because he may not be asking that question. What I would advise you to do is say, hey, first acknowledge, hey, you're frustrated. You're kind of scared. I know how that feels. I get it. That's not having validation. Acknowledging you understand how he feels is different than, well, back in my day, I did this. He doesn't want a lecture. He just wants to feel heard. You can then ask him, hey, I hear that you're saying you want me to give you advice. Do you really want me to give you advice, or do you just want me to listen and understand? Let him consciously say, yes, Dad, I want advice. If that's the case, make it short, make it sweet, make it to the point. Don't make it a lecture, and have no expectation that he's going to follow any of your advice. If you start going into the history of, well, back when I was your age, I did this way, like, he doesn't care what you did. He really doesn't. He may care how you felt, but the ins and outs of what you did, he's not going to relate to what he's doing. Now, I know from your point of view, it does relate, but he's not saying it. So it's really about acknowledging his feelings, and then if you do that, he'll feel much more supported by you, and you'll probably argue less. Anyways, it's a big topic. I work with clients about this all the time. Have session after session after session about how to whittle this down. If you're having trouble working this out, you may need to talk to a therapist to help you figure out how to communicate this better so you're reducing those arguments, having more connection time. Anyways, my name is Kent Toussaint with Teen Therapy Center and Child and Teen Counseling. If you'd like me to answer your question on a Wednesday at noon on Facebook Live, email us at tipsonteens@teentherapycenter.com, or you can direct message us right here on Facebook. Thank you for your questions. We love you guys. Keep them coming, and I'll see you next Wednesday at noon on Facebook Live. Bye-bye.